Hello everyone, my name is Fatima. Today I will explain the A part of speech. The first part of speech is noun. A noun is anything you can touch, see, hold, or feel. A noun names a person, place, thing, or idea. We have many different types of nouns. These are the common nouns. It names something in our daily life. For example, dog, umbrella, girl, palace. These are examples of a common noun. The second is a proper noun. It names a specific noun, like cities, countries, characters, or names. For example, Mr. Mexico, Spanish. These are examples of a proper noun. The next type of noun is the singular noun. It names one thing. Camera, a smartphone, a girl, a horse. The next is the plural nouns. It names two or more things, like notebooks, children. The next type is the possessive nouns. It's a noun that shows possession or ownership. We have two types of possessive nouns. The first is singular noun. You need to add an apostrophe s to the end of the word. For example, it is the girl's horse. The next is the plural nouns. You need to add an apostrophe to the s that is already at the end of the word. For example, it is the girl's apostrophe horse. The next is the concrete nouns. These are things, people, or cities that you can see or touch them. For example, cowboy, a flower. And the last is abstract nouns. These are ideas or emotion like unicorn or love. We have two examples. My teacher is very friendly. The noun in this statement is teacher because it's a common noun. The second is the farm was big and beautiful. Farm is a noun because it's a conquered noun. The next part of speech is the pronoun. This is a word that takes the place of a noun. The pronouns can be subject pronoun. It replaces a noun that is a subject of the sentence. I, she, he, it, we, and they. For example, she is thinking about his homework. The next is the object pronoun. It replaces a noun that is the object of a sentence. Me, us, you, them, it, him, and her. For example, Nady went to the school with me. The next type is the possessive adjective. It describes the ownership of a noun. This is used before a noun. These are my, our, your, his, her, it. For example, that is my backpack. The next is the possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns shows ownership. These are mine, ours, yours, hers, and theirs. For example, that backpack is mine. The next is the reflexive pronouns. These are myself, yourself, himself, self, itself, ourself, yourself, and selves. For example, he burned himself when he was cooking. The next is the interrogative pronouns. Used to ask questions about a person or object that we don't know about. These are who, whom, which, what, whoever, and whichever. For example, what do you want for dinner? The last is the demonstrative pronouns. These are used to show or identify one or number of nouns that may be far or near and distance or time. These are this, that, this, and those. Thus, for example, those games are difficult. The next part of speech is the verb. A verb is a word that shows action, status, or passion. Verbs indicate time. The first type of verbs are action verbs. Action verbs can be in past, present, and future. It tells what action someone or something is performing. We have 3 examples about action verbs in the 3 times. In the past, I had a romantic date with my boyfriend. In the present, she runs every morning with her dog. In the future, I will travel in summer. And the last type of verbs is the linked verbs. They connect the subject of the verb to the additional information about the subject. These are is, are, am, taste, was, were, appear, become, feel, have, had been, and the others. We have 2 examples about verbs in a sentence. The eggs smell good. Smell is a verb. Tom is excited about his new film. Is a linky verb. The next part of speech is the adverb. An adverb can tell more information about a verb, an adjective, or another verb. The adverbs usually tell how, where, and when. How: carefully, gently, quickly, lazily, well, fast, peaceful, etc. For example, walk across the road carefully. Where: above, abroad, there, here, everywhere, outside, far, back, etc. For example, when we got there, the tickets had sold out. And when: yesterday, now, before, after, soon, etc. For example, the last week I met Sam Claflin. Adverbs usually tell how much, like fairly, quite, to, enormously, entirely, etc. For example, it's rated cold, isn't it? And tells how often, like always, sometimes, often, generally, normally, rarely, usually. For example, my kiss. In the sentence, she spoke softly. Softly is an adverb because tell how she is speaking. The next part of speech are conjunctions. These conjunctions are joining words. We have many types of conjunctions. The first type is a continuating conjunctions. This joins words, phrases, and independent clauses. These are called. F means for, A means and, N means nor, D means but, O means or, J means yet, and S means so. We have this example. We could go get ice cream, or we could go get pizza. Or is the coordinated conjunction because this word joins two phrases. The next type is the subordinating conjunction. It joins an dependent clauses to the independent clauses. These are after, although, as, when, while, until, unless, before, because, if, since, and so. For example, I don't want to go to the movies because I hate the smell of popcorn. Because is the conjunction. Please pay attention in these rules. If your sentence begins with a subordinating conjunction, you need to add a comma after the depend clause. For example, until spring arrives, we have to be prepared for more snow. Until is a subordinating conjunction, so we need to add a comma after the first sentence. If the subordinating conjunction is in the middle of the sentence, you don't need to add a comma to separate the depend and independent clause. And the last conjunction is the correlative. Two conjunctions that must be together. That means this conjunction always will be together. The next part of speech is the preposition. A preposition is a word that shows the relation between a noun or a pronoun and some other words in a sentence. It is placed before a noun or a pronoun. Be careful with this rule, please. The first type is the prepositional place. It's where someone or something is. These are against, along, down, into, onto, out of, toward, and up. For example, she's standing against the wall. Is the preposition of place. The next type is the preposition of time. This is what an event means or happened. These are after, during, on, past, until, since, upon. For example, my mom and me always cooking on Sunday. On is a preposition of time. The next type is the preposition of location. These are the direction which someone or something comes or goes. These are above, behind, below, beside, inside, near, outside, next to, and at. For example, Noemi is throwing a ball at them. At is a preposition of location. In this photo, we have the examples of the prepositions, like on is the dog because it's on the table. Under, the ball is under the table. The trash is next to the table. The juice is behind the trash. The next part of speech is adjective. Adjective is a word that describes a noun or pronoun. We have size, like big, small, short, etc. The next is the texture, like slimy, soft, rough, etc. The next is the number, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, many. The next is personality, friendly, rude, kind, etc. The next is color, red, black, pink. The next is shape, round, square, large. The next is taste, sweet, sour, young. The next is appearance, like handsome, pretty, clean. For example, Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans are really handsome. Handsome is the adjective because describe the nouns. We have the other, reader, and so on. The adjective can be used to compare two or more nouns. Indicative describe one. For example, this car is fast. Fast is the indicative. The comparative comparing to and is more fun, smarter. For example, this is faster. In this type, you need to add er or use more. And the last is superlative, use comparing two or more nouns. In this case, you need to add est or use most. For example, Dan is the cutest boy. And the last part of the speech is the interjection. Interjections are words that shows emotions, feelings, agreement, and sounds. It helps the author understand the tone of a sentence. We have the emotions like wow, ouch, duh, or rats. The greetings like hi, hey, hello, bye. The next are the agreements. It's like yes or yeah, no, nope, okay. And the last are the sounds. It's like oh, or ew, or ew, or So these are the 8 part of speech. I hope you enjoyed this video.